So talking about guitars, you mentioned your PRS. What did you play on the album? So you had your PRS, and you've got a new Gibson there as well, haven't you? You've got a signature coming out, an acoustic. So was that on the record as well? What did you play?
Yeah, so this is my main PRS right here, my purple.
Yeah.
And this one I used actually on Crawling Out of the Dark. Actually, all of the leads were pretty much played on this guitar. And I made this with Paul, God, let me think now, about 3 years ago, I think it was, something like that. And this guitar is actually made to order, so people can order it. It's one of my favorites. It's a bit extravagant, so I'm not going to say it's cheap, but you can look at it. Only because I wanted the mother of pearl inlays and a lot of mother of pearl going on here, because, you know, all the regalia. But aside from that, the pickups are amazing on this guitar.
What are the pickups? What have you got in there then?
They're Paul special pickups.
Paul special pickups. I like that.
Paul special pickups. That's what they're called. And all I can say is that the tone on that is pretty freaking amazing. I mean, you know, I love PRS guitars. I've been playing them since I was 11 years old. But this one here,
it's funny with the PRS, because my guitar teacher is a massive PRS fan, and he's just like, they are the king. They take what is great about the Strat and the Les Paul, and they just put them into this one thing that's just has everything.
Oh, they're so like diverse. I mean, you can play whatever. You can play heavy metal on this thing. I mean, you know, and you can play like country, and you can play blues and everything. But of course, I love vintage guitars as well, and I have quite a few of those. But I mean, you know, when it comes, and especially when you're, you know, recording different parts in a record, when you're layering different things in the chorus, you can't just use the same guitar. You got to use like 5 different ones. So I use Les Pauls, I use, you know, vintage Tellys, Strats, all that kind of stuff that I keep around too. But yeah, I mean, for the leads, it's definitely that one. And my Gibson acoustic over here, which I'm very excited about. I just went to Montana last year and created this with Robbie Johns and team and Ray and everybody. But it's a J200 with a 345 neck on it. So it's like a lead guitar player. It's the first hybrid in history that Gibson have done, and it's going to be available next year. But I'm very thrilled. Very thrilled.
That is beautiful. And what color can you get that in? It's red, isn't it? Is it red or is it pink?
No, this is red. Yeah. This is like, I don't know if you can see it in this lighting, but yeah, it's a I don't know, I guess really good luck color. I mean, my last 2 models I had with PRS were red, and they sold out. So I kind of thought, well, you know what, I'm gonna have red again.
Keep with red. It's a lucky color.
You know, and yeah, it's been kind of wild, the reaction, like especially in China and everywhere. People really dig it. And it's got crystals actually here. It's got amethyst and citrine and the pick guard for good energy. I'm very much a hippie, so I'm into all that stuff. And then with the you know, lotus flowers down the neck, which is really cool. And they put my O symbol on the Gibson hairstyle. And I'm just, you know, it doesn't feel too big either, and the playability of it as well, because it has like an electric guitar neck, you know, on it, which is awesome. Like, you know, because I love J200s, but the necks have always been like boat necks to play, you know, and Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, everyone, you know, you just kind of go like, when I went to Gibson in Montana, and they're like, what kind of acoustic do you want to modify? And I went J200. So don't you think it's a little big for you? I'm like, hell no. Let's just put a smaller neck on it, you know. So
okay, can you play us something?
Yeah. So that's just where that
It sounds great. It sounds fantastic. So
I love
when is that out?
We're getting the final release date pretty soon from Gibson, but yeah, I'm really, I think it's probably early next year, I believe. Like, so you can start pre-ordering it now, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Brilliant.
But yeah, super excited. And LR Bags as well, the guy that does the pickup on here, we modified that immensely too. So basically it's foolproof. So if you go and play a show, what I really wanted to do, because I play quite a few like corporate shows, is have an acoustic where it's kind of foolproof, that if the sound guy's out to lunch or he's drunk or whatever the hell, because usually they never pay attention, you plug in and it's going to sound good, you know. So this, you have everything here. The mids are kind of, they cut through a lot. I mean, as I said, this is a lead guitar player's, you know, acoustic, and having the best of sort of both worlds, with having the body and the sound. The pickup really picks up the full-bodied sound as well.
Yeah.
Which she worked on quite extensively over Skype and whatnot. And, you know, I'm just really into like all the detail, attention to detail, you know, and it's really beautiful. So I'm very, very stoked.
I think your guitars always look lovely though as well. You definitely, like, as well as the sound, you think about actually making them look fantastic as well, which I like. It's good.
Yeah, you know what? They have to, you know, kind of accessorize. You gotta make them look nice, right? But yeah, I've had the opportunity, and I feel very honored that I've had the opportunity to work with Corey Smith on quite a few models in different, you know, situations, different tours, whether it be Alice Cooper. And I said to him, Paul, I need a black guitar. And he's like, sure. I said, well, then get some red paint and just splatter on there like you've slaughtered an animal. He's like, what? And I'm like, just throw it in. He's like, sure. They did it really fast. It was really funny because when I got the first Alice Cooper model, PRS, he did it so fast that he's still in the guitar case. And some of the fur from the guitar case went on the paint. So it actually did look like some kind of animal was.
So what, you actually threw real paint on it?
Yeah, so they were just like, I had a white one and a black one, and then what happened was I called up Corey Smith and like, I need some guitars for Alice Cooper to look kind of gnarly because they look really pretty, the PRSs. So can you just throw paint on it, look like blood? And he's like, cool. So they did that, and they threw it, and I have a few of those. So they're wild, and they have a lot heavier strings on them too, because we detuned a lot with that whole situation. But they're pretty metal. Yeah, but I was going through my storage the other day, and you know, different guitars for different tours and all of that.
Well, how many guitars do you have?
God, a very healthy collection, because I have a bunch here, a storage in Nashville that just got back here, and then I have my studio, and then Australia, my studio there. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Quite a few. Yeah,
I love that.
It's a healthy, but you know what? The ones I don't use, I usually get rid of, and I'm doing that right now. I'm just, you know, because you go through your storage and you're like, I'm never going to use this guitar, this like pointy metal guitar, or this other one I got, you know, in Ireland after a show because I was impulsively buying. And that's what happens. Like usually before or after a show, I'll go guitar shopping, and that will be like, whether it be in Japan, which I love. And I actually got a really cool vintage telly in Japan before a show, and then I bought like this green Les Paul in Ireland before opening with Bad Company. I just remember them all because, you know, certain situations or different tours I go on, and I go,
it's memories it's like memories, isn't it? It's great. So like you said, you pick up the green Les Paul and you'll think of was it Bad Company you were with at the time? So it's quite nice.
Yeah, opening for Bad Company in Ireland. So I figured, I walked in there, and it was funny because I bought that guitar and a few others, and the others were complete impulse buys because they sounded good in the store, but it sounded like crap when I got them home. So I'm like, all right. Then you just trade them in, and you just, you know, that's what I do. And right now I'm in the process of doing that now, of clearing away stuff I'm not going to use, because, you know, I'd rather not keep guitars in the dark for people to play them, because they're all meant to be played, you know.
I agree with you. The more beaten up looking, like the more bashed up they are as well, the better they look, I think. I think it's quite nice when they're a bit worn.
Fender Strats, yes, you got to beat them up.
Yeah.
If you don't, if the Fender Strat looks too clean, there's something a little off-putting about that. Like, I don't know why, but
I totally agree with you. That's true.
Something a little, and even tellies too. My tellies I've got a 63 telly, and I was just playing this like 64 like Strat the other day, which is awesome. And I've got some other ones as well that just like that have a certain tone to them you can't get from like guitars that were made a couple of years ago, whatever. But and those go hand in. I mean, it's a good thing when you mix them all up.
Yeah. I love that there's so much to think about. Like, it's literally not just having a guitar with, you've got the strings, you've got the amps, you've got the pickups. It's like there's a whole world to making that one sound, isn't there? It's wonderful, really.
It really is. Yeah, I mean, I think the tone really comes from your hands. Like, I think every player has their own fingerprint,
Mm-hmm.
So I think it really just comes with the way that you approach the playing and how you attack the strings and everything. As I said, it's your other voice. So you could hand Jeff Beck my PRS and you'd sound like Jeff Beck. You could hand Santana this guitar and you'd sound like Santana. Eric Clapton, whoever it is, and they're going to sound like them. And it doesn't matter if they're through the same amp, whatever, pedals, all that stuff. I mean, it's good to have a good amp and a good guitar, of course, so the sound is good. But ultimately, I would say the tone is in your hands, and it's the way that you approach notes, your phrasing, all that kind of stuff.
Lots to practice for me then.
It's just getting lost in it, really. And I would just say, like, your favorite records, playing along to those. That's what I did. That's what really inspired me. Not so much going to lessons, because I had a lot of like terrible teachers and I had a few good ones. And then the terrible ones would tell you how to hold a pick, how to hold the guitar. It's like, dude, everyone holds everything differently. Like, I hold the pick probably completely wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even pay attention, and I use my fingers most of the time. But I think for everybody that's out there like trying to learn guitar, honestly, the best way to learn is learn the basics, like chords and all that kind of stuff, bit of theory, and then listen to your favorite records and try to, what you're hearing, play it the way that you would play it. It's like singing or anything else,
Some great advice. Thank you. It's cool.
But,
oh my God, I can't wait now to put on some records and give it a go. I don't know if I can actually do that, because that's kind of playing by ear, isn't it? Which I don't know if I have this talent for that, but I'll give it a go.
you know what? You just kind of fall into it. That's what I found, and when you're listening to solos and stuff like that, it's sort of like when I first heard like a Braxis record, I didn't know what the hell I was playing, but I was just, trying to work it out. I'll stop it, start it, hours and hours, honestly, 6 or 7 hours a day when I was younger. So pretty obsessive. Yeah.
I think that my half an hour a day, that's where I'm going wrong, isn't it?
You could up it a bit, then you're good,
Oh God. All right. Well, listen, Ori, it's great chatting to you, and congratulations with the album. It's brilliant. And
thank you so much.
I can't wait to get my hands on that guitar when it comes out next year.
Yes, very soon, very soon. And yes, the vinyl is available for pre-order.
Brilliant.
Well, actually, no, you can get it today because it's available today, right? Friday.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, listen, take care of yourself, and see you soon, hopefully.
Absolutely. You take care. Thank you for your time.
Bye.
See you later.